I guess it wasn't.
Approval of the agenda, I entertain a motion. No, wait, I'm gonna take, Sean McCorvin is not gonna be here, but we're gonna talk about his refund deal, but he's not gonna be here.
And John Dunlop won't be.
And John Dunlop won't be here either.
So we'll cross that one out.
Cross it off, okay.
Okay. That being said, I entertain a motion to approve the agenda as amended. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the same. Motion carried. Approval of the minutes are found on pages 1 through 5. Is there any additions or corrections? Hearing none, I'd entertain a motion to approve the minutes as printed.
I'll make the motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes as printed. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the same. Motion carried. For public input, now, before we start public input, if you have anything to talk about, do it from now on, from public input on. I want you to come up to the podium and speak from there. Because people that are watching for these minutes, when you're sitting back at the back talking, they can't hear it. And I get calls every week about it. So we'll start out with public input, and I'm gonna start out there, but I'm gonna talk through this microphone. I'd like to thank everybody while I've been missing for taking care of things. You've done a tremendous job, and I'd like to thank each and every one of you and everybody that had anything to do with it. So with that said, is there anybody else got anything they want to talk about with public input? If not, we'll go to department head meetings. Does anybody got any questions about them? I would like to make one comment about on the police department. I'd like to commend whoever's putting that, and I think it's Jim, putting that police log together, am I right? I'd like to commend you for that police log that's been in the paper and here lately. Anybody else got anything? Okay, if not, we're going to unfinished business. And it's a safe route to school to set the public hearing. Now, all we're gonna do tonight is set for a public hearing on that. We're not gonna have talk about the ifs, ands, and buts about this safe route to school. We're gonna set a public hearing date. And we'll have a public meeting to discuss this. So, has anybody got any ideas about when you'd like to have that?
We have to have at least a 3-week notice to send out letters to anybody on the route that we're talking about. And it has to be published in the paper 10 days in advance. If we do a Monday night, I was looking at the school calendar, Monday the 24th of October. There is nothing on that night. And then, if you wanna go into November, There's a school board meeting on our off night, so it'd be like the 28th possibly of November. How far out do you want to push this public hearing?
And this was a recommendation from the lawyer, correct?
It's a requirement to go forward with this project. There has to be a public hearing. That was the big step that was missed
Sure.
a few years ago. So whatever decision's made, the first thing that has to happen is a public hearing.
I would say the 24th
Of
myself.
October.
Yeah.
Anybody else have any input on that?
That day works for me.
I just have a question. So you have what is the process? You're gonna have the public hearing, and then what? So what's the process on looking at this? You're gonna have a public meeting, talk about it, is city council gonna vote on it? What's the process, I guess, after that?
After that public hearing, that would be when the council would then decide whether they're gonna go forward or stop it at that time. Probably not at that meeting. I don't know if they'd make that decision that night or if it'd be on the next agenda. But they'd probably want some time to discuss everything that they've heard at that public hearing.
So is this kind of like starting over from scratch?
Kinda, sorta. Another question would be, where do we want to have that public hearing? Do we want to have it at the, community center? Keisha did say that the meeting room is available on the 24th, right? If we wanna move it to a bigger area.
I think so. I think we'd have to
I
have
would
it.
agree.
It's the community center.
We'll need a motion if that's when we're gonna have it.
I'll make a motion to have the meeting on October 24th on the Safe Route to School public hearing,
What time?
7 PM
7 o'clock. At the community center?
at the community center.
Okay, we have a motion to hold a public hearing September 24th at 7 PM.
October 24th.
October.
October 24th.
October 24th, I mean. October 24th at 7 PM on the Safe Route to School. Is there, and that'll be at the community center. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second to hold a Safe Route to School, a hearing for the Safe Route to School set for October 24th at 7 PM at the community center. Is there any discussion?
Are we good with the meeting room? No.
What?
Right,
Yeah.
okay, good.
Is there any discussion? If not, we're gonna vote by roll call, and I'm gonna start with Joe. Aye. Jim,
Aye.
Mike,
Aye.
Tammy,
Aye.
Susan.
Aye.
Okay, we have, 5 ayes and no nays, so the motion carries by a unanimous ballot. Motion carried. Okay, we're going on to new business. Number 1, Sean McFarland special meeting refund. And the reason for this is, where is up?
I don't think there's anything in there.
I'm not done.
The reason for this is there was a special meeting called for this issue. And he wrote a check to pay for the special meeting. But when you look at the minutes from the special meeting, there was about very few minutes spent on the issue that he wanted the meeting, or the business for. But if you look at it, after some other stuff was added to it, the meeting ended up lasting over 2 hours. So, he wants a refund, and I don't think it's quite fair to him to call a special meeting and him pay for the whole thing, and we use 2 hours of it, and he uses 5 minutes. I don't think it's fair.
I'll make a motion that we refund Sean McFarland his money.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to refund Sean and McFarland his money, and it's, what is it, for $350?
$350.
$350, isn't
Yeah.
it? $350. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the same. Motion carried. Higher floater position. Who's got the details on that, cause I haven't been here.
We need the details on who you hired and when they started and the wages, cause we didn't make a motion on any of that at the last meeting, so that has to have a motion.
Okay.
I make the motion, we hire Dan Fritzie. He starts on Wednesday, August 31st.
At what wage?
I didn't write that down. I'm sorry.
I didn't either.
Well, I wasn't here, so I don't know what all took place. But somebody ought to have it, there should be a record somewhere of what,
Is it in your notes?
I wasn't part of that conversation.
You guys went in there.
You went into executive session and made that conversation, so.
Didn't we come out?
Yeah. We didn't say how much, we just said that we were hiring.
But did you give him a price when you called him?
He said he was gonna think about it, and then he actually accepted the position to Jeff.
But did you tell him when you offered it, how much that wage was?
I'm sure Jeff was the one that probably took care of that, because he was the head of that.
Gotcha.
So can we hire him and then,
Well, we need to know for payroll, cause
Yeah.
we're gonna be getting paid soon.
yeah, yeah, okay.
Whoops.
So we need to make a motion tonight, cause we need to,
well,
Okay.
It was $21 an hour,
$21 an hour?
yes.
Yeah, well, there, that sounds right.
Make that part of my motion then.
Okay. Dan Fritzie, August 31st for $21 an hour.
Yeah.
I'll second.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if it was 20 or 21.
we got a motion to hire Dan Fritzie to go for the floater's position for $21.
And it'll be an additional dollar
Did you find it?
when he gets his CDL,
Took me a while, but I found it.
An additional $1 after 6 months.
I did, it was 21.
Now, I'm gonna make a comment about this, but I wasn't here, so I don't have too much room to talk. But I don't think this is a very good policy, the way we're doing this, because he's already working. Has been working for a week, and now here we're hiring him. And this is another one of those deals where a committee or whatever don't have the authority to start hiring people and stuff. That's gotta be done here.
It was done here, Ron.
Yeah.
What?
It was done here,
It was?
yes.
Yeah, we,
Well, I have, nobody, where's the minutes from it?
It was basically done in executive session. We came out.
Well,
and
you can't do this stuff in the executive
Okay.
session.
we came out and told Shayla that we were hiring. We did not give a name because we've been through that before.
Well, that's not, I don't care whether you give a name or not, but you can't have this guy working when it's not been officially hired. And he's not officially hired until you guys hire him.
Who gave the authority to have that start date?
What?
Who gave the authority for that start date? That wasn't discussed. I didn't even know he
Well,
had
I
started.
don't care, but that's
So,
not the way to do business.
so from now on, when we hire somebody, we have to have a special meeting.
If you're gonna hire somebody, the wages and stuff have to be set right here, not at an executive session or whatever. It's gotta be set right here with a motion.
Okay, so we have to have a special meeting then. If he's gonna come to work before our next council meeting, then we have
That's
to have a
right.
special meeting before he goes to work.
That's right.
Okay,
Now, I'm gonna call for a motion, or not a motion. But do we have a second to hire him?
Yes.
Okay. Is there any discussion anymore? If not, all those in favor say aye.
I,
Those opposed? Motion carried. Number 4 is the waste for water and wastewater project. SPN invoices, phase 3, 26827, 26832, for a total of $51,934.95 to SPN. Found on pages 11 and 13.
I'd make a motion, we pay SBN $51,934.95.
Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to pay SPN invoices number 26-827 through 26-832 for phase 3 invoices. Is there a second?
Yep.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
I,
Those opposed, the same. B, TLC Olson Construction, LLC payment number $17,328,045.63.
Make the motion, we pay TLC Olson Constructions.
Okay, we have a motion to pay TLC Olson Construction, payment number 17, which is $328,045.63.
I'll second that.
And we have a second, so is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the same. Motion carried. SPN agreement for East Fourth Street improvements is found on page 15 through 18. Terry, are you here?
Yep,
You wanna tell us about this?
I guess I don't need to put her on.
This is actually Ron's project. Ron,
What?
this is that, street in front of the school, so it's actually Ron's project.
Oh, it's Fourth Street improvement.
Yeah, it's, in front of the armory.
That'd be Ron's, wouldn't it?
Yep.
What's the question? I don't know what the question is, I'm sorry.
What?
I thought it was something to do with his project, I didn't catch where we were at.
Where to, the agreement for East Fourth Street improvements, and that's out by the school.
Right.
In front of the armory.
I was under the, idea that we were gonna bid that next year.
Yeah, this is just the, agreement to have SPN draw up the plans for it.
Well, what it
So,
is.
is that what you had planned to do, was have the engineers design that? Is that, was your next
That's what I
step?
thought was already being done, I'm sorry about it, I thought that was already acted on, to have the engineers do theirs. I thought that was already done as far as that's.
The decision was made to have them do it, which is why we have to have an agreement for them to draw up the plans and do the bidding and that type of thing, so. Since we decided to have an engineer do it, now we have to sign the engineer agreement so that they can get started on designing that project.
Originally, it was gonna be done in-house, but with the scope of it, they wanted, the council decided to go with a bid type deal, and engineers have to be involved with that.
So we just need a motion for the mayor to sign this agreement.
Has everybody read this agreement?
So, according to this, then, the engineer costs are $328,000
No, that's the project.
for the project?
That's the,
Okay. That's what the engineer though appraised that
yeah.
at.
Is this the compensation right here?
Yeah.
So you're talking about 86,000 is just to draw up the plans.
Okay.
I think that's, is that the grant amount? Or is that,
So, will the council utilize the community access grant for this project?
yes, that's what this is for. The community access grant is an 80% grant for this project.
Does that grant cover engineering fees or? Oh, sorry.
It's part of it, yes. This is the engineering agreement, it doesn't have the grant stuff, but yes, the grant does cover engineering as part of its cost. Because they require engineering for it.
So basically, you just need a motion for our mayor to be able to sign the agreement. Okay. I'll make a motion that we allow the mayor to sign this or authorize him.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second to sign the agreement for the Fourth Street improvement. And that's out by the school. Is there any discussion? If not,
I have a question. Could somebody please let us know exactly what the scope of this all is gonna be? Is it, because I'm seeing water line on here. Is there sewer on here too? 'Cause I only see water line.
Basically, one block of water main, 4 blocks of drain tile, 2 blocks of fabric slash possibly more, and that's up to who knows what the engineers decide, a fabric or a geobridge or both.
So,
And then asphalt paved, and base course.
but that Fourth Street's 2 blocks.
Right,
So you're only doing 1 block, what?
we do both blocks, but the drain tile will be on each side, so that'll be 4 blocks. 2 blocks down each side.
And 2 blocks of water from water main?
One.
One block from water main? So where are you doing the water main from? Where's the water main from? On Sixth or Fifth? Between Fifth and Sixth or Sixth and Seventh? So between Sixth and Seventh?
is there any more discussion?
It goes to
If not, all those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed, the same. Motion carries. Number 6, DANR permit at the airport. Found on page 19.
This project is complete, so we just need to close off that discharge permit, so it's just finalizing it. So the project is already done.
This is a stormwater discharge permit that goes with the construction out at the airport. So I guess all I'm looking for is permission to sign this.
I'll make a motion,
Requirement.
I'll
That-
second it.
we sign this permit.
Is there a second?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to sign the discharge permit for the stormwater discharge permit for the airport found on page 19. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the same. Motion carried. Now, the next thing is Alderman Schwartz resigned from Ward 1. Did we accept his, or did they accept his resignation?
We just received it.
Okay. We're gonna have to accept his resignation. And then, first of all, I'll do a little explaining, or I'll get ahead of myself. Number 7 and number 8 kind of go together. We'll have to accept his resignation, and then Tammy, when we have him going, Tammy automatically goes up to the president, so we're gonna have to elect a vice president. for the city council. So I'd entertain a motion to accept Alderman Schwartz' record of resignation and praise him for his work on the city council.
I so move.
Years of service. Is there a second? Or I need a motion first.
Well, I moved that we accept
Okay.
his resignation. and-
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to accept Alderman Schwartz's resignation and to commend him for his years of service on the city council. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the same. Motion carried. Now, the next one on this number 8 is to appoint a vice president, but first of all, we're gonna have to make Tammy the president. 'Cause that's just automatic.
We need a motion for that.
Yeah,
I'd make a motion that Tammy becomes president.
is there a second?
I'll second.
Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the same. Motion carried. Now the next thing, we've got to elect a vice president. So nominations are now open for a vice president of the city council of Miller.
I nominate Jim Odegaard.
Okay, we have a nomination of Jim Odegaard. Is there any other nomination? If not, I would ask for a motion to cease nominations
I so move.
and cast a unanimous ballot for Jim Odegaard. Somebody move that?
I did that, yeah.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
I have a motion and a second to cease nominations and cast a unanimous ballot for Jim Odegaard. All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed, the same. Motion carried. Jim, got yourself a position.
The way things are going, I'm not sure that's a good deal.
I'll second.
Okay, number 9, the South Dakota Municipal League Fall Conference, October 4th through the 7th, pages 20 to 23. What do you want to know for this, Shella? Who's going?
We need a motion to send the department heads, and then also if there's any council members that want to go, we need to know that. As the early, sign up is 16th, I believe?
15th.
Yeah, September 16th, so we need to know if any council members are gonna go, and if so, for how many days.
It's October 4th.
Make a motion, we send the department heads to SDML Fall Conference.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second to send all the department heads, and what was the other, whoever else wanted to go?
I would need to know if any council members wanna go prior to sending them
Okay.
or
Yes, sir. However many council people are going.
You wouldn't have to do all 3 days, right?
no. No, you could pick and choose if you want to just go for one day, or
Yeah,
if you find a day that looks really interesting, you can just do it.
yeah, because that second day looked like it had something for the council members.
You were just one time to let you know.
Yeah, so if you could let me know, like for sure within a week, that'd be 13th to get the check cut and to here.
Okay.
Okay. Do we have a second for that motion?
Yep.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to send the department heads to the fall conference. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the same. Motion carried. The next thing on the agenda is approval of the bills.
I'd make a motion, we pay the bills.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the same. Motion carried. Next thing on the agenda is adjourn.
That's so moved.
We have a motion to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. All those any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the same. Motion carried.
Good. I missed supper.
Don't think it's so dang funny.
What's she giggling? Vice President?
She's yucking it up pretty good over there.